Everything we thought we knew about Justin and Hailey Bieber was only the glossy top layer. The polished Instagram posts, the red carpet kisses, the sleepy paparazzi strolls, all of it hid a story simmering just out of frame. Recently, whispers from inside Hailey's tight circle exploded into daylight. And suddenly, the entire narrative flipped. What if the mean girl label that stuck to her like gum was a distraction from something darker? Something she'd been swallowing for years. At first, nobody wanted to believe the tension. A stiff hug here, a forced smile there, fans chalked it up to nerves or jet lag. But the footage kept piling up, and the puzzle pieces refused to stay scattered. Lip readers pored over red carpet exchanges. Body language experts paused clips frame by frame, and a picture emerged of a couple performing closeness while their energy told another story entirely. Viewers who had once swooned over the hashtag couple goals, Faka began asking the same uneasy question. If this is love, why does it look so uncomfortable? Then came the bombshell from Hailey's own friends. According to those insiders, her silence wasn't indifference, it was survival. Behind closed doors, she'd been patching holes in a sinking ship, protecting Justin's image while her own reputation cracked. The same friends, people who had watched her grow from a bright-eyed teen into a barely blinking adult, claimed she was exhausted, emotionally maxed out, and rapidly approaching a line she never dared cross. Speaking up, rewind to Justin's erratic stretch a few years back. Live streams showed him glassy-eyed, words drifting mid-sentence. Fans panicked. The tabloids roasted him. Even Kendall and Kylie Jenner allegedly tried to stage a low-key intervention. Not for his sake, but for Hailey's, worried that the chaos swirling around him would swallow her next. When reporters finally cornered Hailey, she brushed it all aside with a sugar-coated minor issues statement that felt more like crisis PR than honest concern. She smiled, she deflected, and the cameras moved on, yet the tension pulsed beneath. Just when the panic seemed to cool, Justin's carefree cameo at rapper Sexy Red's birthday party reignited everything. In that clip, he laughed like a teenager on summer break, dancing, sparkling, vibing. Viewers had whiplash. Where was that glow when he stood beside Hailey? One comment went viral. He looks lighter with her than with his own wife. Sexy Red tried to hush the drama with a polite, he's always happy with Hailey. But the internet smelled smoke. Fans returned to the archives and found fire everywhere. The slammed car door in 2020, Justin hopping out, Hailey trapped behind the glass. The skateboard sprint of 2021 paparazzi flashes. Hailey tripping while Justin zoomed ahead, never glancing back. The arcade showdown, her laughing victory. His icy eye let you win. Each clip might have passed as a bad moment, but stacked together they built a pattern of public disrespect too loud to shrug off. People who once defended boys will be boys started saying the quiet part aloud. Love doesn't slam doors. Love doesn't leave bruises on ego and heart. The conversation widened, and suddenly Selena Gomez re-entered the frame. For years the fandom pitched a tragic triangle: Justin, torn between two women, both fated to ache. But a new theory took root. Maybe the puppet strings were always in his hands. Maybe he kept Selena close enough to spark headlines and leaned on Hailey as a forgiving fallback. That wasn't romance. It was power. And once you saw it through that lens, every awkward interview, every clipped "don't touch me right now," felt loaded with intention. Hailey's mask began to slip on social media. Justin posted a late-night story blasting Bed by Jay Holiday, a track about casual hookups with no strings attached. Hours later, Hailey countered with lyrics from 3430 about distance and regret. He hinted at co-parenting. She blasted a song about betrayal. The posts read like subtweets in a silent argument, and fans screenshot every pixel. The more cryptic the lyrics, the clearer the picture. Harmony at home was a myth. Then Hailey disappeared on a girls' trip to the Caribbean. No Justin. No cozy couple photos. Just her bestie Lori Harvey, blue water, and a model's smile that looked freshly unburdened. While she sipped coconut water, Justin's dad, Jeremy, dropped a cryptic tweet. "I've never met a parent who said, 'I wish I didn't have a child.'" It could have been about anything, but the timing was suspicious. And the internet loves a Breakup. The fandom concluded it was shade aimed at Justin, hinting he was cracking under newborn pressure or worse, regretting where his life had landed, as speculation reached fever pitch. An old interview resurfaced in which Justin admitted he expected marriage to fix him. Instead, he spiraled. He'd thrust a mountain of emotional labor onto Hailey from day one, and then melted down when the miracle cure failed. Viewers replayed the clip where he flatly told her he would have bailed if you weren't so hot. The joke rang emptier with each replay. Meanwhile, more footage bubbled up. The Vegas hallway blow-up. The Lyme disease Q&A where he snapped, "She was asking me," punctuated by a sarcastic "Listen here, woman." Taken alone, a harsh remark. Taken with the growing anthology of cold shoulders, it looked like habitual dismissal. Every apology Hailey whispered felt less like grace and more like fear. The internet, once divided, now spoke with narrow-anonymity. Hailey was done carrying this alone. She'd defended, deflected, and protected until the cost became too high. No wonder she started skipping public events, choosing distance over damage control. Even her face changed. Fans pointed out the tight jaw in old photos versus the relaxed expression on her island getaway. It was the look of someone tasting oxygen after years underwater. Yet Justin's stunts didn't pause. He teased music drops with captions hinting at freedom, posted throwbacks that excluded Hailey entirely, and liked tweets that could be read as digs. Those actions, innocent on their own, landed like darts when set against the storm. The patience snapped. TikTok stitched expos after expos, Instagram meme pages cranked out side-by-side comparisons of Justin with Hailey versus Justin with friends, and Twitter trended hashtag Let Hailey Speak. By now, the bigger question wasn't whether cracks existed, it was how deep they ran. Did Hailey sign a prenup that bound her to silence? Were their team's NDAs thicker than a Bible? Or was she simply hopeful enough to keep trying every time he promised change? Friends reportedly begged her to prioritize herself. One source claimed she burst into tears over coffee, confessing she couldn't remember the last time she felt genuinely heard. Another insisted she hid bruises but emotional ones, inflicted by snide remarks and withdrawn affection. Perhaps the most chilling part is how normalized the imbalance became. When Justin barked "Don't touch me" on a casual live, he tried to play it off as needing space, but the internet heard the subtext, "Don't comfort me unless I ask," and Hailey caught on camera accepted his rule without blinking. The clip circulated like wildfire, and survivors of toxic relationships echoed. That's the face of someone trained to step lightly. Through it all, Hailey's brand, her skincare line, her modeling deals kept growing, proof that she could shine without the Bieber spotlight. Yet she rarely celebrated publicly, as though joyous posts might provoke another mood swing at home. Insiders hinted she planned to relocate her work HQ to New York, away from their Los Angeles fortress. Framing it as a business decision, though everyone heard escape plan, Justin's entourage tried damage control. A rep leaked that he was focusing on therapy, on faith, on music. Pick your angle. The more they insisted, the less convincing it sounded. Fans demanded accountability, not another docuseries about redemption. They recounted how often men apologized to the world but never to the woman who bore the brunt of their storm. And each time a new apology cycle began, the internet asked, did he even say sorry to Hailey behind the scenes? Then, as though on cue, paparazzi caught Justin alone at a West Hollywood diner at 2 a.m., hoodie up, eyes puffy. He looked tired, yes, but also relieved to be unseen by the person who once vowed for better or worse. Reports claimed he'd moved into a separate studio apartment to focus on creativity, though skeptics translated that as trial separation. Meanwhile, Hailey surfaced in Brooklyn at a friend's art show, laughing so freely that even the grainy phone footage couldn't hide the glow. Commenters noted she hadn't looked that relaxed in years. She wore a simple tee and jeans, nothing like the Hollywood glam everyone expected, and yet she commanded the room. People whispered, "That's the real her, the one we almost lost," as summer approached. Tabloids speculated the pair might attempt a quiet reconciliation, but sources close to Hailey said she was done weathering tempests that weren't hers. She'd spent half her 20s patching holes in a heart that didn't beat for her. Now, as one insider put it, she wants her own pulse back. Justin, faced with the possibility of losing his longest fallback, reportedly spiraled between grand gestures and radio silence. One week, he filled her apartment with roses. The next, he ghosted texts for days. That whiplash is textbook, psychologists noted, and Hailey's silence grew even steadier silence, not of fear this time but of decision. All the while, the fandom retraced years of headlines viewed through fresh eyes. The arranged marriage joke on Ellen never felt funny, but now it read like a confession. He entered wedlock because the people around him thought it could anchor him. He mistook a partner for a cure, and when that cure failed, he treated her like faulty medicine. The audience, once charmed by his vulnerability, now labeled it projection. Rumors of legal paperwork began swirling. A new postnup, a hush clause, a custody plan for their pets. Nothing confirmed, everything plausible. Hailey's camp refused to comment. Justin released cryptic lyrics about loneliness. Streams soared. The machine kept churning. And here we are, an empire of images collapsing under its own contradictions. Hailey's silence has become the loudest headline proof that sometimes the absence of words rings louder than a press conference. Justin's every move now reads as damage control, and fans wonder if he recognizes the cost of years spent taking more than he gave. Maybe he'll transform, maybe he won't. But the plot twist nobody predicted is how fiercely the audience flipped to protect the woman they once painted the villain. So, what happens next? Does Hailey reclaim her voice on a glossy magazine cover? Does Justin pen a midnight apology ballad that climbs the charts but fails to mend the fracture? Or wildest of all, do they part ways quietly, leaving us to piece together clues from muted Instagram stories and paparazzi chatter? One thing's certain, the silence shattered, and nothing slips back under that rug without someone noticing the bulge. Stick around, because this saga is far from over, and the next revelation could drop before the echo of this one fades. As always, keep your eyes open, your mind sharp, and remember, behind every curated post is a reality begging to be seen.